Users can navigate to registration from the homepage, where all required fields must be completed to register successfully. Users can register as a buyer or a seller. If the preferred name field is left blank, it will default to their first name. A user must be 18 or over to register. Email addresses must be valid, passwords must match the strength indicator, and both passwords must match. I'll now be redirected to the homepage. And now I've received a welcome email with a message tailored specifically to buyers. The system does not allow me to register again with the same email. I'll now log in as a seller and head over to the Create Auction page to make a new one. Here, sellers can enter the auction title and details and then select a category. Once a parent category is chosen, the subcategory menu updates automatically, and switching to another parent category loads a different set of subcategory options. I then choose the condition and complete the remaining fields, including the start price and reserve price. If invalid information is given, such as selecting a start date in the past, the system prevents the auction from being created and shows an error message. Now that we've created the auction successfully, I'll head over to the My Listings page. On this page, sellers can see all auctions along with key details including views, bids, and scheduling information. Here's the listing we just made along with a countdown to its start. I'll now show filtering by getting active listings only and sorting by start price. On the Actions menu for all auctions, sellers can view the reserve price, and for inactive auctions, the only other option is to view bid history. For active auctions, sellers also have the option to end it early. Going over to the individual listing page, we'll see the seller's specific view, where bidding and watchlist options are hidden, and I can also view the full bid history from here. For upcoming auctions, I can cancel the listing, which I'll do now. Notice the status immediately updates to inactive. As the countdown on my newly created auction reaches 0, it briefly shows starting before updating to show that the auction is now active with the time remaining until close. I'll start by logging in as a buyer and heading to the Browse page. Here I can filter auctions by condition, so I choose New. Next, I demonstrate filtering by category and subcategory. First, only the parent category drop-down is visible, but when I select Homeware, the relevant subcategories appear. Now I'll go to Jewellery with different subcategory options and select Rings. I'll now go back to all jewellery to demonstrate sorting options within this category. I'll sort by soonest expiry to show auctions ending soonest, then by price high to low, and then switch back to the newest listed sorting, the default. I'll now clear all filters to demonstrate the search bar. I'll start by searching for the word Marilyn. This term appears in this auction title, so this listing over here is displayed. I'll then search for Clover, and in this case, the term doesn't appear in any titles, but it appears in the item description of 2 listings, and both results are shown. Buyers can also search by category name, so if I type homeware, all homeware items are displayed, and you can see that results persist across pages. They can also search for subcategory names, so I'll type in watch and all watches appear. To show how all these features work together, I'll search for diamond, filter to jewellery, and sort by price from high to low. Both diamond and diamonds appear due to wildcard and stemming behaviour. Moving to the next page shows the sorting and filtering continue to apply. Ended auctions are always shown last regardless of the sorting option, and they remain in the Browse page for 24 hours after they close. I'll now log out of this account. I'll start by clicking on an auction in the Browse page. Whilst I can view the listing, I can't place a bid until I sign in, so let's sign in as a buyer. Now that I'm signed in, I'll go back to the auction. You can see that if I try place a bid below the start price, the system prevents it. I'll now enter a valid bid and select Keep Private. Notice how the bid is placed instantly and the page updates lives with my new current bid and my bid on the recent bids table. I'll then go over to My Bids where my highest bid for each auction is displayed along with my current bidding status. I'll now log in as another buyer and place a bid on the same auction. And the buyer we used earlier immediately receives an outbid email as well as the seller saying a new bid has been placed. Logged back in as Philip, I'll now add this auction to my watch list. Now logged in as Emily, I'll place a bid on the item Philip watched earlier, and he'll instantly receive an email about it. Now logged in as the seller Isla, I'll open my dashboard. Here I can see my total earnings, my successful auctions, and the viewing traffic graph showing the number of views on my listings over the last 7 days, including 27 views recorded today. The category breakdown chart shows how my listings are distributed, and my top listing is the auction with the highest view count. Note these values as we'll return to this page shortly. Now switching to the buyer account fill, I'll open the buyer dashboard. Here I can see my bidding activity over the last 7 days, along with summary statistics about my bidding history, including my win rate, the number of auctions I've won, and my total spent across all my won auctions. Keep these values in mind as they'll update shortly. Heading to my bids, I can see I'm currently winning this auction as the highest bidder. So let's go and view it. Here we can see that the auction will end very soon. As the timer reaches 0, the system automatically ends the auction and updates the page. Both the winning buyer and the seller receive their confirmation emails immediately, informing them of the auction outcome. Still logged in as the winning buyer, Phil, the auction I've just won now appears in the My Purchases section. Back on the buyer dashboard, you can see these figures update to reflect the auction I've just won. Back on the seller's dashboard, the figures have updated automatically to reflect the new sale, including their total earnings and number of successful sales. You'll also see today's viewing traffic increase here, reflecting the view we just made earlier. I'm now logged in as a buyer, Aria, and from her My Bids page, you can see she's mainly bid on jewellery items. On the recommendations page, the system finds other users who also bid on these same jewellery auctions and shows Aria what those users are currently bidding on. For example, the badge, 2 similar bidders, means 2 people who bid on the same items as Aria are also bidding on this auction. On the bottom section of the page, users can also receive recommendations for the most popular currently active auctions. This way, new users who have not placed any bids yet can still receive recommendations of some sort.